Dedication, commitment, patience. It's not going to happen overnight. And you've got to love it. You've got to live and breathe 365 days a year.
Today, we're talking to men's physique legend Ryan Terry and what is his daily routine. Today's video was made possible at Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can now get the Memento Mori poster, which is an 80-year life calendar with tiny little squares that represent a week of your life. It is a reminder that you are going to die and a reminder that you are mortal, and you shade off the box every single week. And if that does not get you motivated, I don't know what will. So if you feel like getting reminded that you are going to die, head to the link in the description at Mulliganbrothers.com and use code STOIC for 10% off. And also you can get the Inspire Change t-shirts and hoodies. But before that, the daily routine of a men's physique legend, Ryan Terry. Let's dive into the video.
So, I mean, when you're training, like, what is it like? Like, do you have to put your all into it? Is it difficult when you go in your head?
Yeah, so for me, everyone always asks me, like, how do you stay motivated 24/7? And I'm only human, like, you can't be fully motivated 24/7, but I'll always turn up to my session and give it my everything on that day. And for me, what drives me is knowing I'm not number one in the field that I'm working at. So for me, until I'm Mr. Olympia, that drive and that passion every day, and if I'm struggling to do a set, or if I'm struggling just fatigued or tired and don't want to do my cardio, I take myself there. And I think, would the competitors who I'm up against be welching out on this set? Will they be moaning about this is hard, or if they're hungry and stuff? And these type of things in my head just flick the switch, and I'm like, no. And I'm the guy who has to work harder than everybody else, be in the trenches and graft, and that's how I've always been, and it's always pushed me through.
You know, like when you get to a set and your legs are aching and, like, you know, it's absolute agony, like, what at that point is going through your head?
I've even done stuff where, like you say, when you feel like you've got no more reps in you and stuff, and then you take yourself to that dark place where not a lot of people talk about it, but a lot of, like, I say greats, but a lot of people who train savagely or hard, they put themselves in them horrible places where they'll use their family, for instance. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but, like, they're in trouble, or there's something, like, they're under something what you need to move, and the only way you're going to move is if you do these next 2 reps, and if your son's in trouble. Little things like that just literally take it, and you just get this overwhelming power and strength to get those last 2 reps out. So it's certain things like that I start to do if I know I'm starting to welch out on a set. I put myself in a dark place where it pushes you through.
That's how I deadlift, Max. You know, it's the same thing. Someone stuck under a car is like the best way of doing it.
Because you don't want to sound weird. When I'm saying that, I think you sound like right weird, but you do, don't you? You're thinking you need to get something off someone that you love. You need to get moving, push it off.
So, you know, like the high of training as well, like the endorphin rush and all that kind of stuff. Is that something you enjoy to achieve, like, and to chase?
Yeah, so I absolutely love training. It became more difficult in my later years with injuries and stuff, but it's part of my day-to-day. Like, I don't know what I would do without training. It's not like a necessity that I have to do it because of a certain way I look or the way I feel. I just really enjoy it. I look forward to my sessions. I like blocking the world out. I have multiple businesses now, so and I have a family to look after as well. So my mind's always 100 miles an hour. But when I go into the gym, that all stops. The phone is away. It's my time just to get into my own head, and I've just always seen it as a way of pressure releasing, just cutting the world off and yeah, having my own time.
So then you know, there's the work inside the gym, but then there's the outside stuff, the food prep. So like, I mean, specifically to food prep, what does that look like?
Yeah, so food prep, people say, why don't you get people who do it for you? Because there's so many prep companies now, and it'd be so easy to do that. And I have tried that in the past, but I think as a bodybuilder, I want to know, like, I prep myself now, I make myself accountable in every field. So why would I not make myself accountable with my food? So I prep all my own food, so I know exactly what's in each meal. And yes, it's monotonous and boring and constant, having to do it every 3 or 4 days, but it's one part of bodybuilding you just can't neglect. Nutrition is huge, and it's the key to everything, the fuel to everything. So for me, it's just something I've done now for the last 20 years, and I don't mind it. I love eating, so it comes easy to me.
And what's that? So let's talk about a daily routine. Like, what goes into the day of when you're prepping for Olympia?
So I get up at 5 o'clock every morning. We do an hour cardio. We do half an hour core work, and then we go into our first meal. I'll have, like I say, if we're going to go through the depths of the diet, I'll always look for complex carbs, which is oats, essential fats, which is almond butter, antioxidants through blueberries, a few more carbs, and a good whey protein source just for the absorption rate. You've fasted over 8 hours, you need that quick fuel of protein in to start the day off. So that's how I'd start the day, quite high calorie, big protein bowl, 150 grams of oats, so it's a mass amount of food. And then, yeah, we start to taper down. 4 eggs, rice, my next meal. Go into a chicken. I like rice, I never get bored of rice, so I have rice quite a lot, but you can mix that up with potato, sweet potato, any complex carb. And then I'll go into like fatty foods. So we've got 2 salmon fillets at night, and I have 2 fillet steaks at night as well, both with carbs and veg. So it's quite a varied diet. It's quite a lot. My body's got a very fast metabolism, so I need to have quite high calories.
And then so you've got the hot and cold therapy centre.
Yeah, so we've got the weight training as well. So I tend to do that after my 3rd meal. So just basically I want to get enough carbs to fuel that workout. I have high amounts of supplementation around training with carbs in there, just to help with the workout and to get as many carbs as I can into the body. Train for an hour and a half, weight training, and then I'll come back and do my hot and cold therapy, either post-workout or later in the evening, depending just on time. And yeah, we go in the ice bath for recovery. I've got the Normatec sleeves as well for leg day, so it's just for like lymphatic drainage. So yeah, obviously before all this was available, I used to get injuries left, right and centre, but as we get older and there's more available things for recovery, it's been priceless for me.
What does it take to be a pro?
Yeah, so to be a pro, I would say dedication, commitment, patience. It's not going to happen overnight, and you've got to love it. You've got to live and breathe bodybuilding 365 days a year, because it's not a prep, it's a lifestyle, and you can rush the process, but it'll look forced and it won't yield what you kind of want to look like. For me, I've been training 20 years and stuff, and I'm only starting to get to the point where I want to be now. So yeah, like I say, patience is a big one, and a hell of a lot of commitment.
Last one. Taking family out of consideration, that's your priority. Like, what are you willing to, or what were you willing to give, or what have you been willing to give? Like, what are those sacrifices? Like, what is on the line for you when you think of the bodybuilding?
Yeah, so I'd like to think I've sacrificed a lot over the years. You can't help but bodybuilding is a very selfish sport, and if you want to be the best in the world at it, you have to put your food, your sleep, your rest, your training before anything. Before, sounds silly but a bit dramatic, before family, friends, all that kind of stuff. So, for instance, when I won the Arnold Classic in 2013, I was an amateur waiting to go pro. A week out from that show, it was my sister's wedding in Kos. There were 50 young couples, all inclusive, everyone drinking all day, eating ridiculous amounts. I took my George Foreman out with me. I went and bought all my own food from the supermarket, even though I was in a 5-star platinum hotel. I was cooking all my food every 2 hours in the room. I'd walk off campus an hour to this little spit and sawdust gym, what I found in the local town in Kos. And these are the things you sacrifice. Like, I was going to bed at 8 o'clock when they're all partying through the night and stuff, and on the wedding day, I couldn't have a drink or anything. But I wasn't feeling like I was missing out. I just had a different purpose at the time than who I was with. So they're kind of the sacrifice I was giving, but it was worth it, because no offence to plumbing, I used to love plumbing, but I was working on site doing 12-hour days, and that was the turning point for me, where I became a professional athlete and it became my job. So yeah, little things like that, and that type of scenario has happened many times over the years.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to link Ryan Terry's stuff down below. An absolute gentleman and a legend. He has some amazing, amazing content and videos over on his Instagram. That is like one of those pages where I get my motivation from. So if you feel like getting motivated, head down below. This project was made possible with your support at Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can get the Memento Mori poster, a poster that is a reminder that you're going to die, basically. It's to remind you that you are mortal. There's 80 years with a tiny little boxers, and I've shaded mine up until 30 years of age. And I look at that poster every single day, and I am reminded that one day I will not shade in a box. And if that doesn't get you motivated, I don't know what will. So use code STOIC at checkout on the poster for 10% off. And also the Inspired Change t-shirts and hoodies are also in the link in the description, where all the profits go back into making this content available for you guys. So if that sounds good, please go check that out. And also, if you become a channel member with the join button down below, you will now be receiving the exclusive behind the scenes vlogs as well of what we get up to. Just a little extra look for those people who are watching. And I'm going to start doing weekly videos on there as well, just talking to you guys, asking for your suggestions, seeing what the community is interested in. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed and productive day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.